The Central Lakes region of Guatemala was home to many ancient Maya cities, including Holtun, which over 2,000 years ago sat high atop an escarpment overlooking fields and pastures. The site itself is enveloped in a dense cover of tropical forest, and the site's more than 100 buildings are now covered in this jungle foliage. And the naked eye, it actually looks more just like a hilly landscape, but inside these hills are actual ancient structures, including temples and pyramids, some of which are adorned with elaborate and monumental stucco masks which depict deities and ancestors. Unfortunately, in decades past, looters have penetrated many of these structures in search of valuable artifacts. And you can see one of these looters' trenches here. And in these trenches, they often expose these stucco masks to the elements, and they're in danger of destruction. As you can see here of a photo taken about 10 years ago in one of these looters' trenches, and one taken just this past summer, you can see the damage that has been done to the mask itself and also to the paint on the mask. And through our initial reconnaissance mapping and entrance into the looters' tunnels, we've seen evidence of early kingship at the site. In 2010, our archaeological team was able to make the first 3D topographical map of the site. And this is very important because it helps us to identify all occupations at the site, all architecture, and it also helps us to target future excavations and areas that might be important in terms of what they might tell us about the past. And so this is also, these 3D maps are also very important for us in terms of knowing the relationships of the different structures at the site to one another, and also the altitude of structures. And oftentimes during the pre-classic, the earliest settlements at the site are the highest, because that would be the most preferential place for a settlement at the site, especially because it would be highly defensible. And our team was very interested in the pre-classic period because the classic period, which dates to about 700 to 900 AD, has been very heavily studied because it does have kind of some of the largest structures, the largest pyramids, rulers' tombs, and so it tends to be very exciting. And the earlier periods, for a time, were largely ignored, although of course there are exceptions. But many scholars now are on the track of looking at this pre-classic period, finding that there was kingship much earlier than previously thought. There was monumental architecture much earlier than we thought. And archaeologists are really focusing on how did kings come to power, how did kingship arise.